Hello everyone, welcome to today's lecture. So yesterday we studied about three laws of motion. Did you go through that topic? You have to read the textbooks very regularly. Now the last topic from the chapter is law of conservation of momentum. Okay, what is momentum? Momentum is the product of mass and velocity. Momentum of initial velocity is mu and momentum of final velocity is mv. Now here there is a derivation question. You have to state and derive law of conservation of momentum. So I will start with it. There are two bodies. Consider there are two bodies A and B. The body A is having a mass m1 and the body B is having the mass m2. Okay, this is moving in this direction. Its initial velocity is u1. Okay, and this is also moving in this direction. Its initial velocity is u2. Okay, this is faster than this. Consider this is faster than this. If this is faster than this will come and collide with it. Okay, it will come and collide with it. After collision, what will be its initial velocity? Its final velocity will be v1 and the final velocity of this will be v2. Okay, so what will you write? Suppose there are two objects A and B of mass m1 and m2. Let their initial velocities be u1 and u2. They collide with each other. After collision, the final velocity becomes v1 and v2. Okay, I repeat. Suppose there are two objects A and B of mass m1 and m2. Their initial velocities are u1 and u2. They collide with each other. After collision, their velocity will be v1 and v2. Okay, now it is law of conservation of momentum. So momentum before collision for A, it will be m1 u1. Momentum before collision for B, it will be m2 u2. Momentum after collision for A will be m1 v1. Momentum after collision for B will be m2 v2. Now if F2 is the force that acts on B, okay, the force with which it is colliding on B is equal to F2. Okay, and what force this will have? Whenever a force is applied by this on this, the same amount of force is applied by this on this in the opposite direction. That means if F2 is the force acting on this B, then F1 will be the force acting on A but in opposite direction. So F2 is equal to minus of F1. Okay, why I have taken it as minus? Minus I have taken because it is in the opposite direction. Okay, so F2 is equal to minus of F1. So what is F? F is equal to MA. So M2 A2 is equal to minus of M1 A1. Okay, and what is A? A is equal to V minus U upon T. Okay, V minus U upon T. So what will be A2? It will be M2 into V2 minus U2 upon T, and this will be minus of M1 into V1 minus U1 upon T. Okay, have you got it? Now you may write this much in your notebook. Okay, now see, M2 into V2 minus U2 upon T is equal to M1 into V1 minus U1 upon T. The T and T will get cancelled. So the equation comes to M2 into V2 minus U2 is equal to minus of M1 into V1 minus U1. Okay, now opening the brackets, you will get it as M2 V2 minus M2 u2 is equal to minus of m1 v1 plus this minus and this minus will become plus m1 u1. Okay, now this minus I am taking it to this side and this I am taking it to this side. So it comes to m2 v2 plus m1 v1 is equal to m1 u1 plus m2 u2. Okay, that means now putting this side and that side, even if you stop here doesn't matter, but m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. Now what is this? This is initial momentum of A. What is this? This is initial momentum of B. This is final momentum of A. This is final momentum of B. That means total momentum of A and B, total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. Okay, so this much you may write. Now I will show it again. Okay, so there are two objects, one object A, another object B. This is having mass m1, this is having mass m2. This is moving with initial velocity u1, this is moving with initial velocity u2. This will come and collide with this. After collision, the final velocity is v1, the final velocity is v2. So initial momentum of A, initial, okay, for A, initial momentum is equal to m1 u1 A. Final momentum is equal to m2 u2, sorry, m1 v1. For B, initial momentum is equal to m2 u2. For B, final momentum is equal to m2 v2. Okay, if force is the force F2 is acting on this, on this F2 is acting, this will act F1. Okay, if F2 is on that, F1 is on the first. So F2 is equal to minus of F1. Why minus? Because it is in the opposite direction. So F2, what is F2? M2 A2 is equal to M1 minus of M1 A1. So A is equal to, but A is equal to V minus U upon T. Okay, so M2 into V2 minus U2 upon T is equal to minus of M1 into V1 minus U1 upon T. T and T is getting cancelled. Opening the brackets, you will get it as M2 V2 minus M2 U2 is equal to minus M1 V1 plus M1 U1. Rearranging, you will get it as M2, by bringing this M1 U1 this side, sorry, M1 V1 this side, M2 V2 plus M1 V1 is equal to M1 U1 plus M2 U2. So by rearranging, you will get it as M1 U1 plus M2 U2 is equal to M1 V1 plus M2 V2. Okay, so this is the derivation. Okay, this much should be there in your answer. Okay, if you are finding it difficult from your textbook, you may write at least this much. Okay, how will you write? You have to give the heading law of conservation of momentum. Then you may write, suppose there are two bodies of mass m1 and m2, okay, with initial velocity u1 and u2. They collide with each other. they have final velocities v1 and v2. After that you may write from here till here. Okay, you may copy this. So from the derivation we have understood that the total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. When two objects collide, okay, when two objects collide with each other, the total momentum of one object and the other object, their total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. Okay, that is the law of conservation of momentum. Now there are two statements given in the textbook. The first one is when no external force acts on two interacting objects. Okay, there are two interacting objects, there is no other force which is acting on it. Okay, so when no external force acts on two interacting objects, their total momentum remains constant. Understood? So when no external force acts on two interacting objects, their total momentum remains constant. It does not change. When two objects collide, okay, when two objects collide, the total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. Most of the students find this easier. You may learn this. Okay, you have to learn both, you have to write both, but those who are finding it difficult may at least write this much. So what is basically law of conservation of momentum? Law of conservation of momentum states that when two objects collide, the total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. How to derive that I had shown earlier. Okay, now we may move on to the next topic, that is recoil velocity. What is recoil velocity? Whenever a bullet is fired from a gun, the bullet moves in the forward direction, but the bullet exerts a force on the gun and the gun moves in the backward direction. The velocity with which that gun moves, it is called as recoil velocity. Okay, I repeat. When a bullet is fired from the gun, the bullet moves in the forward direction, but it exerts a force in the backward direction on the gun, and the gun moves in the backward direction, but it does not move that far as the bullet. Okay, but it moves a little in the backward direction. The velocity with which the gun moves in the backward direction, that is called as recoil velocity. Okay, that is called as recoil velocity. Now you may see on page number 15 there is an equation for that at the end. In that case, m1 v1 plus m2 v2 is equal to 0, or v2 is equal to minus of m1 m2 into v1. Okay, the question asked from there is only what is recoil velocity. Now on page number 16 there is a box. As the mass of the gun is much higher than the mass of the bullet, the velocity of the gun is much smaller than the velocity of the bullet. The magnitude of momentum of the bullet and that of the gun are equal and the directions are opposite. Thus the total momentum remains constant. Total momentum is also constant during the launch of a rocket. So the basic thing which you have to remember is, according to Newton's third law of motion, for every action force there is an equal and opposite reaction force. Okay, that is proved by law of conservation of momentum. Okay, now we will see the numericals. So there are two solved examples given on page number 16. The first example I haven't written, I won't be showing it because it is easier, we will just discuss, but that question is important, it is asked. Okay, it is a most asked question from this chapter, mostly asked numerical. Next, the mass of a cannon is 500 kg and it recoils with a speed of 0.25 meter per second. So they have given the mass. What is the mass given? It is 500 kg. And what is the speed? That is velocity. It is 0.25 meter per second. What is the momentum of the cannon? What is the equation to find out momentum? Momentum P is equal to mv. you have to multiply 500 with 0.25 and the answer is 125 kg meter per second. You may mark it as very, very important in your textbook. Okay, now the next is example 2. Two balls have masses of 50 gram and 100 gram respectively. There are two balls of masses 50 gram and 100 gram respectively, and they are moving along the same line in the same direction with velocities of 3 meter per second and 1.5 meter per second respectively. They collide with each other. Okay, so the initial velocity of the first ball is 3 meter per second, and the initial velocity of the second ball is 1.5 meter per second. They collide with each other, and after collision the first ball moves with a velocity of 2.5 meter per second. Calculate the velocity of the other ball after collision. So they have given the initial velocity of the first ball and the second ball, and the final velocity of the first ball, but they haven't given the final velocity of the second ball. Whenever there is a question on collision, you may remember that the equation which you have to use is of law of conservation of momentum. What is the equation to find out law of conservation of momentum? It is m1u1 plus m2u2 is equal to m1v1 plus m2v2. That is total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. Now we will solve the sum. Okay, so the equation which you have to use here is m1u1 plus m2u2 is equal to m1v1 plus m2v2. We have to find this v2. Okay, we have to find that v2. Okay, now we will put the values m1. Here the m1 they have given it as 50 gram. You have to convert it into kilograms. You have to divide by 1000. So it will be 0.05 kg. m2 it is 100 gram. You have to divide by 1000. You will get it as 0.1 kg. You have to convert it into kg. Okay, so m1 is 0.05 into u1 is 3 plus m2 is 0.1, u2 is 1.5, m1 is 0.05, v1 is 2.5 plus m2 is 0.1 into v2. v2 we don't know, we have to find it out. Okay, now solving this, 5 3s are 15. Now there are two decimals, so it will become 0.15. Okay, it will become 0.15 plus 0.1 into 1.5. It will be 0.15. Hope you know how to multiply this. Is equal to 5 into 25. 5 into 25 is how much? It is 125. Okay, isn't it? It is 125. 5 into 25 is 125. How many decimals? 1, 2, 3. So it will become 0.125 plus 0.1 v2. Okay, so 0.05 into 3, 0.15, 0.1 into 1.5, 0.15, 0.05 into 2.5, it is 0.125, 0.1 into v2, it is 0.1 v2. Now 0.15 plus 0.15, it is 0.3. Okay, it is equal to 0.125 plus 0.1 v2. Now taking this to this side, okay, we are taking this to this side, so it becomes 0.3 minus 0.125 is equal to 0.1 v2. So how will you calculate 0.3? 0.300 minus 0.125. 10 minus 5, 5. 9 minus 2, 7. 2 minus 1, 1. So it will become 0.175. So you will get it as 0.175 is equal to 0.1 V2. Okay, therefore V2 is equal to 0.175 upon 0.1. Okay, so here you have to get rid of this decimal. After decimal, how many digits are there? There is only one digit. So you will multiply it with 10. If there are two digits, you will multiply it with 100. Here there is only one digit after the decimal, so I am multiplying it with 10. If I multiply the denominator with 10, I have to multiply the numerator also with 10. Okay, so this will move 1 point towards. So this will become 1.75 upon 1, that is equal to 1.75 meters per second. Okay, so it is 1.75 meter per second. This question is asked in some schools, but you should be knowing how to do it. Okay, I repeat. So here there are two balls. The mass of the first ball is given as 50 grams. You have to convert it into kilograms, so it becomes 0.05 kg. M2 is 100 grams. It will become 0.1 kg. U1 is 3 meter per second. U2 is 1.5 meter per second. V1 is 2.5 meter per second. They have given it. V2 you have to find out. The equation is M1 U1 plus M2 U2 is equal to M1 V1 plus M2 V2. Substituting the values, 0.05 into 3 plus 0.1 into 1.5 is equal to 0.05 into 2.5 plus 0.1 into V2. Multiplying, you will get 0.15 plus 0.15, that is equal to 0.125 plus 0.1 V2. 0.15 plus 0.15 is 0.3, which is equal to 0.125 plus 0.1 V2. Okay. Now taking this 0.125 to the other side, 0.3 minus 0.125 is equal to 0.1 V2. So 0.3 minus 0.125 is 0.175 is equal to 0.1 V2. So V2 is equal to 0.175 upon 0.1. After decimal, one digit. So I am multiplying the denominator with 10. So the numerator also you have to multiply it with 10. So you will get it as 1.75 upon 1, that is equal to 1.75 meter per second. Okay, I have repeated it twice or thrice, okay, so that you could understand. Okay, so hope you have understood the chapter. If you are having any doubts, you may ask. Okay, thank you.